Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Smequle, and in today's video, we have the top 5 players in NBA 2K20 all on the same team, and we're going to be seeing if they can go 82-0 in a season of my league. So checking out our top 5 players, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's a 97 overall. This is all based on overall rating, whoever the highest rated players are inside of 2K20. Then we got LeBron James, also a 97. We got James Harden, also a 97. Then we got Kawhi Leonard. He's normally a 96, but putting him to my league actually bumps him up to a 97. And then finally, we have Anthony Davis, who is a 96. The last pick was between AD and Luka Doncic, and Anthony Davis fit the team a little better, so I ended up going with him, because what we're actually going to have to do here is switch around a few of the positions. We're going to be putting LeBron James at point guard. He goes down to a 94 overall here, but he's still a beast, and then we're going to put Anthony Davis at center. So that's how we're going to be playing during the season. We don't actually have to switch their positions in here. We just got to switch the lineups. So their overalls do change a little bit, but we have to make it work. And this is kind of the best way to do so. Changing pretty much every player's position is going to change their overall. And just like yesterday's video, if you guys haven't seen that already, yesterday we took the top players in each stat category and saw if they could go 82-0. Just like that video, we're going to be playing these guys 48 minutes per game. And then just like yesterday as well, the rest of the team is going to be a bunch of 40 overalls that will not be playing a single minute throughout the season. These guys are going to be playing the entire season. That way we really get a test just how good this team can be. But we're just going to go through a season. That's our team. And since we do have a top 5 players team, we got the Watch Mojo uniforms and logo and everything like that. They're more known for their top 10, but this is a top 5, which is close enough. So we got the Watch Mojo jerseys on right here. And we're just going to simulate through a season, see how good these guys can do, see if they can get some awards, see if they can go 82-0. I'm hoping they can go 82-0. Let's just start off the simulation. Okay, so I ended up simulating the season 3 times. One of the times the team ended up going 69-13. Another time they went 72-10, and then yet another time they went 72-10. And we're going to be continuing the 72-10 simulation. So out of the 3 times I simulated, none of them were even close to actually going 82-0. So it looks like just having the top 5 players isn't enough. For the reason why I think they didn't do as well was because of fouling out. They are actually able to play the full game fine without getting too tired. It's just when the players fouled out, that is when they started to lose. But our MVP of the season does end up going to Giannis. 25 points per game, 15.9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Just some crazy stats right there. Rookie of the Year, Zion, D'Angelo Russell, 6-man. And then Defensive Player of the Year goes to Kawhi Leonard. So we got 2 players with awards already. And then our coach is going to get Coach of the Year as well. And something I forgot to mention earlier is that we actually kept all of our players on their original teams as well. So there's going to be 2 of every player on the top 5 team, just to make this more of a challenge. Because if we just got rid of the top 5 players, then those teams are going to suck and it won't be really challenging at all. So we kept the league how it is and then just made a separate team and duplicated some players. But on the All-NBA first team, we got LeBron James, James Harden, Giannis, and Anthony Davis. Almost 5 for 5 on the first team, which would have been insane. The only player not making it is Kawhi Leonard, who does end up making it on the second team anyways. Then checking out the all-defensive team, we got 3 players. We got LeBron, Kawhi, and Giannis on the first team, and Anthony Davis on the second team. Of course, we don't have James Harden there. So 4 for 5 on the defensive teams, and everybody made it on the All-NBA teams. Now coming over to standings here, of course, they're up on top, 72-10, second best record in NBA history. And surprisingly, that's actually the exact same record as the league leaders in every single category, despite these players actually having higher overalls and being a little better overall players. We're going to come over to league leaders here because I think we actually do have a few players here. So some games Harden drops some insane points. He ends up being 6th in the league for scoring with 28.4. Giannis and Anthony Davis are 3 and 4 for rebounds per game. LeBron James is number 1 for assists per game with 13. And then Harden also had 10.2. So both of these guys getting a double-double throughout the season. Steals per game, Kawhi Leonard is up on top, and then the other Kawhi is also there as well. And then Giannis in third. So we got 2 players on our team there. And then blocks per game, we got Anthony Davis with 2.4 blocks per game. So the team ended up doing pretty insane. Every player except for Kawhi Leonard actually ended up getting a double-double this season, which is pretty insane. Nobody really shot too great from 3 though. 38.2% isn't amazing. Points per game, the top 5 are up on top. And points allowed, they allowed the least amount of points per game. They had the best field goal percentage. They did not have the best 3-point percentage. In fact, they were one of the worst teams in the NBA at shooting the ball, as well as one of the worst teams with free throw percentage. Rebounds per game, they're up on top. Assists per game, they're way on top. Steals per game, they're on top. Blocks per game, they are on top as well. So other than that shooting, the top 5 players were on top of every single statistical category in terms of being an overall team. But now we're just going to hop into the playoffs and see if they can get some sweeps here and win an NBA championship. First round, they're up 2-0 against the Wizards, 3-0 lead, and this should be a sweep right there, and a nice, easy sweep against the Wizards. Right now, the Wizards are actually one of the worst teams in the NBA, but we do have injuries off, so they got John Wall back, and they end up making playoffs up against the Nets in the second round, and the Nets actually get a game on them. So 2-1 lead for our top 5 players, 3-1 lead, and there we go. They win right there, 4-1. So dropping 1 game so far in the playoffs. With our league leaders, they actually almost lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, and right now the Bucks are up to a 2-0 lead. There we go. Top 5 ends up getting a game right there, tying it up 2-2. The Bucks take a 3-2 lead. Let's see if these guys can clutch up and move on past the Eastern Conference Finals. Game number 6, top 5 players going to win quite easily. So we got a game number 7 versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, the Bucks do still have Giannis. And then the Clippers end up beating the Lakers. And then game number 7 here, the top 5 players destroying the Milwaukee Bucks, and they make it to the NBA Finals. They're going to be facing off against the LA Clippers here, which is a pretty good matchup for them. Clippers, of course, they got Kawhi going to be facing off against Kawhi. They got Paul George on Harden. And then everything else they're going to have a little trouble with Giannis, AD, and LeBron James. So this should be interesting. Game number 1, top 5 players get it. Clippers tie it up. Now they got a 2-1 lead. Clippers tie it up 2-2. Top 5 players getting a 3-2 lead. And in game number 6, the Clippers up by 3 with 33 seconds left. Top 5 players still have a chance to win this. It's going to be pretty tough for them. Almost a steal, but AD with the block. They're going to need a 3-pointer here to tie it up. They might just go for the easy 2. Everybody is going to be tired as well. Of course, they've been playing the full game, which does make it a little harder for them. Here's Harden in the corner. That's not even a 3, and that is no good. Looks like the Clippers are going to end up winning here. We got one of the 40 overall players. I'm assuming it's because LeBron James actually fouled out. That happens a lot during the season. If someone fouls out, then they just got a 0 overall, replacing them on the team. And the reason I just didn't pick like the top 10 players to make an entire team is because they would easily go 82-0 in NBA 2K20. But when you only got 5 players, it's a lot harder of a challenge, and they still end up doing amazing anyways. But I mean, they have one more chance here. They got a little opportunity. Here's Harden in the corner. That's no good. And that is going to be game right there. Clippers are going to force a game 7. And game number 7, our top 5 players up by 13 points. So it looks like they're going to get the W right here. There's pretty much 0 chance that the Clippers end up coming back. They get a nice game 7 victory. We got 1-0 overall player in, and Harden isn't in. And if we go over here, as you can see, Harden ends up fouling out, which was kind of the biggest issue all season, was players fouling out, because if you play 48 minutes a game, a lot more likely to do so. And also the whole tiring factor, but that doesn't, being tired doesn't make a huge difference in 2K. Players can still go off. It is not the same as in real life. And there we go. Top 5 players going to be our NBA champs. It was really close. A few game 7s in the playoffs here against the Bucks, against the Clippers. They end up coming out on top. This was kind of like that league leaders team. We do have 2 of the players from that team on this team, with LeBron and James Harden. But I thought adding those other players, this team would be a lot better. But it does not end up turning out this way. Let's find out who's going to get Finals MVP. I don't know why they're wearing red when our main colors are blue and white, but LeBron James ends up getting a Finals MVP. That's 2 videos in a row. And James Harden isn't on the bottom, though. It was almost a nice lineup, all the starters on the bottom. So here's LeBron's final stats: 25.7 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, 13.4 assists, and then 2.4 steals as well. And he shot pretty good from the field goal and 3-point line as well. He's a 93 overall because he's at point guard, but realistically, he'd be a 98 at this point. So he did go up 1 overall. I'm just going to scroll through the game so you guys can kind of check out the stats of how these players did in the finals. 80 had 35 in game 1, 30 in game 2. LeBron had 33. And look at this, actually went to overtime. Played 53 minutes this game, which is pretty insane without fouling out. Harden had 30 in game 4. LeBron had 35 in game 5. And then Harden had 37 in game 6. And then in game 7, Harden had 38. LeBron with 34. LeBron had 19 assists in game 7, which is pretty crazy. That is going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure that you do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the